Hi everyone, welcome to my next hiking video. I've got Sheppy on a leash as well as Mags because there is a car in the parking lot, and so I never know if they have a dog or if they might be afraid of Sheppy. So out of courtesy, I always put them on a leash if there's a car in the parking lot. Now I'm calling this Why Being Too Serious Can Be Hazardous to Your Health, and although it's a funny title, I really think being too serious causes a lot of undue stress and unnecessary worry. Now, I'm going to talk about how my family was always very serious, and oh my gosh, dinner was don't laugh, don't make a joke, don't make light of anything, and if I ever did, I was admonished by my mother to stop being so darn silly. And so that's just a starting point of how I grew up, and maybe that's why I don't really like being serious all the time, because that was very stifling for me, and I thought it was kind of ridiculous. But going over to my friend's house, I actually found relief because things were lighter, my friend's parents could laugh at things, and I started spending more time over there than I did at home. But in any event, I'm going to show you where we are. We have not yet videoed this park. And what's really cool is they have signs on the trees to tell you, and if you're not familiar with New England, this apparently is a horse chestnut tree. And I'm not sure when they grow the chestnuts, but I'd really like to come back and pick some. And I will video this sign. Now apparently you can roast them over a fire, and I've never done that before, so I would really like to. And I may have missed it, if any of you know when they do grow them. Let's see, it doesn't really say, but I'm going to come back in the fall and see if any are up there. Now maybe they've already dropped and people have already picked them up, and that might very well be the case. But I'm going to come back and see. That would be fun to do. And let's see. There's a tree over here. Come on, Max. Come on. Let's go over here. Come on. Oh, here's a butternut tree. It's making me hungry thinking about it. Oh, that looks really good to eat. I'll have to go home and Google it, or maybe some of you will, when these actually bloom and produce these things, because that would be really cool. And maybe some of the locals even come up and pick them all before they're done, before none are left, in other words. Now this one, I had no idea I was going to be videoing this, by the way. We're just driving around today without a plan. I can't even pronounce that, so maybe some of you can. It seems Latin in a New England tree, so I don't know why. Maybe it came from Europe. That's interesting. So now we're going to go over here, and this does lead to the ocean. Now maybe this is why I refuse to be so serious, because I thought school was too serious. I thought my family was too serious. And I think a lot of YouTube channels are too serious. And now with AI overtaking us, this computer doesn't seem to have a sense of humor either. And it worries me, because what's going to happen to humanity if we lose our sense of humor? And maybe we already are. Because what if life isn't fun anymore? Or what if it isn't fun for you because maybe you've been encouraged to be serious? And I say that in all seriousness. because I sure was. And everything seems to be about hurry, do this faster, make more money, buy this, buy that. But who's having fun? Who's having fun doing all that? That's what I want to know. How can it possibly be fun to constantly work hard? And I hear all these channels who mean well, like how to start a YouTube channel. And they have great tips, and I listen to those. But how many of those say make sure you have fun? I don't think there's very many, because I'm having a blast with mine. And that's why I will do this as long as I can. And why not? Because if I'm having fun, that means it's rewarding, it's easy, and tremendously, tremendously fulfilling. And all I'm doing is being myself. And that's why it doesn't take any effort. So, maybe I'm fortunate. Which I very much am fortunate to have all of you subscribers and viewers and commenters. Oh my gosh, I appreciate you all. And I'm astounded at how my channel is growing. Because I never imagined that my thoughts and my viewpoints would have meaning to anybody. And have fun also. So I want you guys to have fun when you watch my videos. And I think I need to work on being more entertaining a bit and not so serious. And yes, I'm looking down at my feet so I don't fall off this plank here. And I would love to let Chippy go, but I don't know if someone's going to come around the corner with a dog. And not knowing their dog, I want to avoid any confrontation. So maybe we're learning to be serious by example, thinking that we're supposed to be serious all the time, and gaining knowledge and gaining money requires being serious. And to some extent, it does, but there has to be some level of fun somewhere and enjoyment, or else what's the point? Unless, of course, you're a serious person and you don't care. But the most serious people I have ever known were not happy. This is so cute. Shippy absolutely hates being on a leash, but that's too bad. And I have always felt in a way like a kid still. And right now I'm even walking barefoot. Because I always used to love to walk barefoot. And I remember when I lived in California, I lived in a very affluent community, brand new, beautiful house, all of that. And I think my daughter was maybe 2 or 3 years old. And it had been raining. And we ran out in the rain barefoot. And the neighbors were astounded. Oh my God, look what they're doing. They're out in the rain and they're barefoot. And I thought, what is going on? When was the last time they ever went out in the rain barefoot? And I didn't want my daughter to feel humiliated, but I'm sure she was. But I said, that's okay, honey. We can do this whenever we want. It doesn't matter what they say. And I still go out in the rain barefoot, and I'm almost 70 years old. So maybe that's a personality thing, but if you have fun what you're doing, you found the key to enjoying your life. And I find fun in the simple things. Like this. showing you this beautiful trail, and it's going to be a beautiful view because it's going to come out on the kind of a rocky beach. And we're just driving around today. We're just stopping in on various places we haven't been to for a while. Not really expecting anything, just kind of taking it all in, enjoying the day. And I feel very fortunate I'm able to do that. But I want to share it with all of you because I want you to have fun too. And I always felt, let me see if I can describe this. Being around serious people was like having cold water thrown in your face. Because I didn't want to be like that. Let's go this way, Max. I didn't want to be like that. And I'd even try too hard to try to make them laugh. Well, this is cool. Now, if nobody's here, I'm going to let Shippy loose. And I would almost try too hard to make them laugh. And sometimes they would look at me like something was wrong with me. Geez, Barbara, what's so darn funny? What are you laughing at? And I'd stare at them like, why not? Why am I at fault for laughing? That makes no sense. Come here, Shippy. I'm going to take Shippy off a leash. Come here. Nobody's here. And I recognize, sorry if that wiggle waggled there, I recognize that some people just like to be serious. But what the heck? Even my dog isn't serious all the time. And he knows how to enjoy a good swim. And Maggie will bark if I let her off the leash, so I'm sorry, that's why I'm not. And this is all mud, and I'm going to step right into it because it feels great. Now, I used to do this when I was 10 years old. Go to the beach, walk barefoot in the mud, and I plan to keep doing this as long as I can. Depending on the time, because I don't want this to be too long, I really want to show you the view over here because it's stunning. And I actually found this place by accident one day. Just driving around, picked a road, decided to check it out. And this is where you can see the high tide comes because of the seaweed. Maggie, don't eat that. So it really comes up quite high here. And I'm so fortunate that I live here and that I can have fun like I did when I was a kid. And I think for years when I was working, oh, this is all mud, and I'm walking through this barefoot. When I was working, I forgot about having fun because I had to be serious to make money. I had to be serious to be a marketing rep and talk to clients. But I still used my sense of humor whenever I could and tried to lighten up things. Even if only to myself, I'd make jokes. And deep down, I resented being like that because I was selling myself out. But I stayed with it. And of course, because of that, I have my Social Security now, retirement, and I would not have had that without all my working years. Yet, I could have found other positions that were more fun. But I had forgotten about fun because in school, you're supposed to be serious. And It's not encouraged to be a funny person. And I think what's going on today is even more so, especially with AI, because the focus is not on personal enjoyment. It's on achievements and material gain and doing things faster and doing things better, whatever better means. And I think that's tragic, because I think we're losing our sense of humor. Our humanity is losing our very soul by not finding things funny as often as we should. And I say that because if we thought things were funny and laughed at ourselves more often, maybe we wouldn't be so darn stressed out about the things that really aren't worth it anyway. That's only my view. I know there's plenty of things to be stressed out about today. People not being able to afford their homes, the homeless, all kinds of things happening around the world. And those things are not funny. But still, one little thing can brighten your day, and find something funny about one aspect of what you're doing or what you're encountering. And you might find yourself more relaxed and appreciating your time here on this planet a whole lot more. And that's what I plan to do. I plan to enjoy childhood things like walking barefoot and eating ice cream for breakfast and not doing what I'm told, because I really never did anyway. And questioning everything. And there's another thing. Why are we not supposed to question anything anymore? Why are we taking a computer's word for everything and taking verbatim the answers to our questions? Why are we not questioning every darn thing it spits out and not seeing the craziness in all of that? Where the heck are we headed? And that is why I'm glad I'm old, because in 10 years, I wonder if anyone's going to think about their own mind anymore, or critical thinking, or questioning things, or finding humor. Are we all going to be enmeshed in this robotic way of life and lifestyle, and be so blind to what is happening to us? Well, it's already happening. So, I hope you enjoyed my walk today. This goes on for quite a while, so we're not going to continue. And I thought Maggie would have trouble walking on the rocks, but she doesn't seem to mind. And I gauge my walks by her. If she gets tired, there's a guy going out fishing. Now he's having fun. Now that's what I'd like to do one day. However, I would never do that by myself, because I don't know how to fix engines if they ever quit and I was out there. But maybe one day I'll just go out in a rowboat. I'm going to turn around and turn this off. And I hope you enjoyed my video. And please have fun today, whatever you're doing. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care.